Today I'm going to show you a brand new tool that's red and how it's different than one that looks just like it that's black. Hi, I'm Paulk, and this is the Smartwoodshop. If you want to get a set of plans to build one of my benches or the Smartwoodshop or any of the accessories, you know what to do. There's a link in the description of this video down below. Paul St. Jacques, designer of the TLC, manufactured and distributed by FastCap, but it is a product of one of the Smartwoodshop fam. I told you all about it. I'm really excited about it, you know, obviously because it's designed by one of the fam, but I told Paul when he was going to send them to me that I'd take a look, but that I would not talk about, promote, or do anything with any tools on this channel that I wouldn't personally use and want to share with the Smartwoodshop fam. Also, I said in that other video there'd probably be a affiliate link. So I will put a link in the description of this video, but they're not affiliate. So I'm not getting paid to make the video. I'm not getting paid to sell any of these. It's just because I think they're great and I want to support Paul. I think he came up with the absolute best way to do what these things do. So what is new? I showed you everything before. I showed you the bench mount. I showed you the cams, and it's over there on my bags, but I showed you the set, which is the strap with one of these guys on it that goes on your nail bags or your vest or whatever. In that video, I said that they were missing something. They had all the components, but they needed something else. And I called it a ladder mount or a ladder clip. And that's what they did. Now, at the time of this video, I don't know if these are available yet, but if they are, I'm going to put a link, but keep an eye out for them. I called them the ladder mount. Paul's calling them that. Hopefully that will be the marketing name as well. The difference between these two is the standard bench mount does not lock. That's the one that I put on my bag, and I explained where I like that because when it goes on, it can go on any way and it won't lock on. And that helps you to have more. If you have these on your bench or, you know, one of your wall mounts, you wouldn't want to have to rotate them to take them off because it would take a lot more space. And you don't really need them locked on in a situation like that. But I wanted them for my ladders. I use these red tops. Mine are quite ancient. I don't even know if they still make these anymore. But these are ultralight. I learned about these from my electrician 3 decades ago. And he eventually went to fiberglass, which I hate because they're so heavy. But look at that. These are fantastic. And I'm a 3-legged ladder nut. They just what worked for me. Maybe because I work in corners so much. But anyway, when I'm working on these ladders, I've got a couple of these. This is my favorite. I get a lot done, especially in 8-foot ceilings. I don't need anything taller. But most of the building I do is 9 foot, so I do a lot of crown. So I have the big brother to it, and this is my go-to. So I've mounted them, this new red one, which I'm calling the ladder mount, or ladder clip, or something ladder. And I mounted it with 2 screws on this, and I also put one on my shorter ladder. The reason I wanted this is when I'm up working on crown, I have my nail gun, and oftentimes 2 nail guns. I'll have my 18 gauge, and then I'll have my 23 gauge. And with this, now I can put it on my ladder. So I've got it set up, and of course these are adjustable, but I've got it set up so that when I'm in this horizontal position, I drop it in and it will fall down and now it won't come off. The reason I wanted that for my ladder is because I'm up in the air. I didn't want to be able to bump it loose, damage the floor, or damage the gun, or possibly even worse, hit somebody else. So I like that it's locked on, and I really didn't want to do that with these because, again, when you put it on with the bench mount, it will come off just by being bumped. Since I made that video when I first got this kit from Paul, I've been using them in the Florida Fixer a lot, and I just want to show you what's working out for me. My framing bags, I have 2 of them. I have one for the hammer, And again, I like that because it goes on easy and it won't bump off. It takes a little less room than my hammer sling as well. Although that's really close. If you've got a good hammer sling, upgrading to this may not add a lot. What is, not optional in my opinion is the other one. And again, that one would be for the nail gun when I'm moving around. Again, framing vest, I'm not going to put my big framing guns on this, too heavy. But if I happen to be using this vest and I'm using a smaller gun, but most of the time it would rather be one of my drills, because obviously I do use those in framing. So again, I can drop either a nail gun or a framing gun or any tool that has that on it. And I had mentioned that framing vest and wanting to do 2 of them on it in that last video. What I didn't mention, and what has turned out to be excellent, is my nail apron, my trim apron. This I use to trim with, and most of the work I do actually in the shop. This is actually, yeah, this is mine. My wife has one as well. And this has just been my go-to. If I'm doing finish, this is what I'm using, and I really like that it's laid out well, and it's got this apron so that if I'm wearing my street clothes, my shorts particularly, I don't mess them up. I added one of these to the vest right here. And for going around and doing trim, I have found that it's just a perfect place to hang these little nail guns. It hangs really well. It's really comfortable, but also the screw gun's a little heavier, but they still work great. It's just a good location. Now I could do another one, but I think one is enough. And it worked out so well. I've got 4 of these now. My wife wanted one too, so she's got one in case she's hanging the screw gun. She doesn't use the nail guns as much as I do, but it's there for her. It'll work just as well. Mounting your cams on these tools is really easy. So like on this DeWalt, I put it on the belt clip. So I have another one here. I took it off so I could show you how easy it is to put. These are tools that I actually want these on. Not every tool, but all of my drills and tools like this where it's nice to have a place to hang them. I use this in finish. So basically I got the 3 parts. I have the cam itself, the backer nut, which is a big heavy duty round guy that's threaded, and the machine screw itself. And in the case of the DeWalt, and I'm sure most of the tools out there where they've got a belt clip with in this case there's a slot in it. So there's no drilling, no modification of the tool. And basically I just put it on. I don't have to worry about adjusting it until I tighten it up. So just put the nut on the back there. And then once it's kind of on there and not super tight, then I'll adjust the cam. You can put this cam on any way you want, what works for you. But for me, because again, I do that where I drop it in with the thing in this position like this, it'll drop right on, and then I let it rotate. So I always know to grab it. So my guns and screw guns are all the same. So that means that the cam itself, in my case, the flat spot will go plumb on the back side of the tool because I'm doing it from the right side. If I were hanging it on the left side, I'd probably swing it facing forward. In this case, the back of the tool here is not the back of the tool because this tool is used in this direction. And now, just like the others, I drop it on and then it falls, hangs by gravity. Get it off, I just rotate it up. That easy. Well, I can't say enough about Paul's invention, the TLC. And again, I'm not getting paid to say this. This is really what I think. I get excited when I see something so innovative come along and go, why didn't I think of that? Mahalo for hanging out with me in the Smart Wood Shop.